Industries change, technology changes, industries advance, technology advance, societies advance. And every single time there's an advancement or there's a change or there's a shift in an industry or an economy, there are those that complain. There are those that say, nope, this is not possible. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes something isn't possible. It's tried and it fails. But sometimes they're wrong as well. In fact, a lot of times they're wrong and they refuse to see it until it's too late and they're not able to take advantage of it. Now there's first movers advantage, where those who are first in, those who are really driving the change forward, those who are early adopters get to reap all of the benefits because they're first in. It's first mover advantage. I think that's what Xbox is doing with Game Pass. I think that we are living through one of those times. I think we're living through a huge transition in gaming, the likes that we've never seen before. And with that transition, it feels like it's breaking a lot of people. Like a lot of people don't refuse to see that, hey, console gaming is not what it was in 2000. Name another piece of industry in the entertainment space that is the same as it was in 2000. Name it. Music, no. Movies, no. Television, nope. It's all changed drastically. Gaming, for the most part, on consoles has remained the same. So, if anything, I think console gaming has lagged behind other entertainment spaces in adjusting to the new technological reality that is 2024. That is the 2000s, if you will, and has remained the same since, I'd say since the Xbox 360, with the exception of graphical increases, speed, stuff like that on consoles. But really nothing's changed. You buy a console, you play your game on your console, you either have a PlayStation, a Nintendo Switch, or an Xbox, and you continue on. That was the same as it was in the 2000s, the early 2000s, and before that even. And so Xbox comes along and says, hey, you know what? We've lost the console war. We are going to change the game. All this technology exists. I think there's a move here that we can make to bring our games to not millions of people, not hundreds of millions of people, but potentially billions of people. And that is through subscription service gaming. Movies are there, music is there. Why not subscription service? And so they're setting out to do that. And they're doing it with some success. Indeed, as consumers, we benefit. I have more access to games today at a cheaper price than I have ever had before in my life. So do you. So does everybody else who subscribes to Game Pass. Or let's say you subscribe to the PlayStation service, or you subscribe to Ubisoft or EA Access, stuff like that. We benefit as consumers. But during this transitionary period, there are those who say, no, this is destroying the industry. And I would agree with them. It is destroying the industry. And we'll get into that in a moment there. But last night was one of those such things, and I've seen this sentiment pop up a few times, and I thought it would be worthwhile just to go over here in today's video. This is Ryan T. Brown. Ryan T. Brown, he's on holiday. Happy holidays, Ryan T. Brown. He's marketing director for independent games publishers. He's in the independent games industry here, and he had this tweet in response to the Game Pass price increase, which again, if you haven't watched my video, I do a video reacting to that. I don't think it's a big deal. It's a $2 increase. No big deal to me on that aspect. And here's what Ryan T. Brown says. Game Pass has irreversibly damaged the industry by altering customer behavior to what is mentally treated like not having to pay for games. The Spotify effect. It has eroded value perception of games, pushed towards play length as value, destroyed ownership, all for nothing. So I have a few problems with this. I think that Game Pass irreversibly damaging the industry or altering customer behavior is just not correct. I think that you're missing the mark here on so many aspects. It feels like he just doesn't like Game Pass. This is flawed thinking, and we're going to go over to my response to this. I responded to this last night, but I did want to. A few people brought up some points here, but let's go through. He continues in his thread. I'm convinced Microsoft's plan is still to make Game Pass their entire model. Of course it is. You don't need to be convinced. They're saying it. That's their plan. It's happening. It's like it's like everybody's refusing to see what's happening here. And then when it finally clicks, they're like, oh, I think this is their plan. Yes, they're saying it's their plan. To to make a Game Pass their entire model and escape the perceived shackles of console, hence the deprioritization of consoles having just launched on Amazon Fire Sticks. And guess what happens? They expose themselves to more customers. We as customers win because we can now access more games than ever before without the need to buy really expensive hardware. Or if you want to buy a console and it really have a top tier premium experience, you can do that as well. Almost every indie publisher I've spoken to feels this way about Games Pass. I could bring up right now a handful of really big indie publishers, really noteworthy rather, who have done nothing but praise Game Pass. And the subscription model, he says that the indie developers feel that it's long-term damage, short-term games. Of course, we've all tapped into these deals for the short term as we feel it's our job to get the most for individual devs. I personally have played more indie games than I otherwise would have because of Game Pass, which is interesting because Xbox really also helped in the 360 era, the indie game market with the store, and really kind of changed the way that we perceive indie games, I would say. And then Steam also helped with that as well. If Microsoft is trying to regain customers buying their titles rather than just grabbing them on Game Pass, that day is gone. Xbox players do not buy games anymore. They've been trained to just grab them for free from their subscriptions. This was a predictable outcome. Let's go back to his original thing. Game Pass has irreversibly damaged the industry by altering customer behavior. I just think that that's incorrect. But the best point that was made here is Jez Gordon. He says, genuine question, how come Game Pass with a few million users is more to blame than free-to-play games with billions of users? His response is it's a different topic. It's almost a separate market that doesn't tend to directly impact indies. I think that's a little bit of a cop-out here. I think putting the blame at the industry is being destroyed by Game Pass is just, the industry is shifting. That doesn't mean that the industry is being destroyed. If you don't adapt and evolve with industries, you go the way of the dodo bird. So let's get to my response here. And my response really focuses on this first sentence. Let's reread it again. Game Pass has irreversibly damaged the industry by altering customer behavior. I retweeted this and I said, I agree, Game Pass has damaged the industry, just like cars irreversibly damaged the buggy whip industry. Email irreversibly damaged the fax machine market. Smartphones irreversibly damaged the pager market. Remember pagers, dude? Pagers were fun. Digital cameras irreversibly damaged the film industry, and electric lights irreversibly damaged the candle industry. Advancement is all about evolution. Embrace the change. And I think that's correct. I think what people who don't like Game Pass, now maybe Game Pass doesn't succeed. That is yet to be seen. I think Xbox is all in. I think you can see the logic why Xbox is all in. Again, every other entertainment media is there. We've talked about that a lot on this channel. And I think gaming is changing and adjusting as a whole. You can see PlayStation is seeing the same things Microsoft is seeing. PlayStation is making the same changes that Microsoft is making, going the same direction as Microsoft is going. They're just doing it at a little bit slower of a pace. Nintendo Switch is also having the same discussions and talks, not Nintendo Switch, but Nintendo rather, and doing those things. The entire console gaming industry is trying to figure out trying to have that early mover advantage. Where is the next place going to be that people play their games? How do we move console gaming forward? How do we move the gaming industry forward? And I think subscription-based gaming, I think subscription model gaming where you can play on any device anywhere is the way to go. And I think if you don't adjust to that, you're an issue. But to say that, let's go back to his quote. Oh, it's right here because I retweeted it. Game Pass has irreversibly damaged the industry? No. I mean, yes, they have irreversibly damaged the industry in the same way cars irreversibly damaged the buggy whip or horse and wagon industry, right? Like, industries change, industries evolve as new technologies come along, and if you don't evolve and change with it, if you don't figure out how to take advantage of that, it's the same mindset of complaining about the new AI tools, like, oh, AI tools are going to take away my job. No, figure out how to use those to make yourself irreplaceable. Figure out how some jobs, yes, will go away, obviously, but it's your job to figure out as a human being, okay, what once was, now is not. How do I figure out how to take advantage of this, to make myself better, to profit off this, to provide more value to my customers, to make myself more valuable to my employers, and take advantage of those tools? I'm all in on Game Pass. If you can't tell, I think that subscription-based gaming is the future of gaming. I think we're at the dawn of the golden era of gaming. I think the next 5 years is going to look completely different than the past 5 years. And I think this mentality is just wrong. I think there's more to his angst and anger here than he's letting on. I think he doesn't like Game Pass. Maybe his last game didn't succeed. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. That's all speculation. But it just feels like there's this blindness on part of some people, on part of the haters of Game Pass, in which they fail to see that industries change, guys. Game Pass isn't destroying the gaming industry for destruction's sake. It's evolving because of technological advancements here. It's providing more value to customers. Whoever provides the most value to their customers wins. That's it. It's what smartphones did. Apple jumped in. It's what the iPod did. It's what Apple Music, Spotify did. You become an industry giant by providing the most service, the highest quality service to your customers as possible. And if you are first in, and if you're doing that by changing the market entirely, in the case of Apple with smartphones, in the case of Xbox with Game Pass, you win. It's game over. I would love to know your thoughts, though. What do you think? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm overstating this? Do you think that Xbox is not headed in the right direction, that they're headed in the wrong direction? I don't. I think Game Pass is the new technology. I think people are fighting against this shift in gaming and console gaming that we're seeing and not evolving with the technology. But let me know in the comments. Again, if you like this video, if you like the videos just like this, we do this all the time on this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, share us with your friends. Follow me on Twitter. I'm X1 the Gamer on Twitter. I'm actually at X1 Bros on Twitter. But there you go. That's me. Go follow me on Twitter. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.